Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and I hope you had an absolutely amazing GoFest weekend. I went back out on Sunday, got a little bit more sunburnt, did a bunch more Mewtwo raids, and ended up getting an incredibly sick, shiny 98 Mewtwo that I made into Mega Mewtwo Y. I maxed it out to level 50, got it to Mega level 4, which puts it at level 52, and today, I'm going to be doing Mega Master League practice battles against viewers like you to showcase how absurdly strong this Pokemon is. The moveset I'm running is Psycho Cut with the two legacy charge moves Psy Strike and Shadow Ball. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches. We pick up a very scary lead in the first match, leading Zacian into Mega Mewtwo Y. Mega Mewtwo Y doesn't have the fast move pressure of X, but what it does have is absurdly fast pacing. Straight 5 to Psy Strike, 6-6-5 to Shadow Ball, and considering it's a Mega Mewtwo, any charge stack that it lands is going to be absolutely devastating. Shadow Ball lands, my Zacian barely hangs on, my opponent switches their Zacian into mine, and I pivot out and send in Zekrom. I'm going to try and CMP tie here right as they make it to the back-to-back close combats. Zekrom loses charge stack priority, so this is a very favorable CMP tie for me. Now, I get to fire off Fusion Bolt. Fusion Bolt is going to do a lot more damage onto that -2 Zacian, and then I can just fully sacrifice the Zekrom and go for an aggressive Psycho Cut down. My opponent's now at -4 defense, and look at the Psycho Cuts as in comes Mega Mewtwo. My opponent banks Behemoth Blade, sends in Dragon Tail Kyurem Black, and I'm going to unleash Psy Strike. Psy Strike is a neutral charge stack and still almost picks up the one-hit KO. They make the Fusion Bolt, we switch out and get the catch onto the Zacian. Now, I preserve both Protect Shields and I can bring back in the Mega Mewtwo Y, go for a nasty Psycho Cut down, and exit with back-to-back Shadow Balls loaded. The speed of Mega Mewtwo Y is just absolutely absurd. My opponent brings in the Mewtwo, they make a very nice peekaboo play catching onto the Zacian, but the Zacian had a Behemoth Blade, so I'm very okay with that energy being lost. Now my opponent brings back in their Mewtwo. I'm able to win charge attack priority because I do have the level 52 Mega Mewtwo Y. It's all the way maxed up to max Mega level as well, and we're going to be able to take home this win. I still have both Protect Shields intact. That catch from earlier ends up being game winning for me. If my opponent was able to grab a shield, they would have outpaced and taken the win, but I had 2 shields for 2 Psy Strikes. I can fire off the Shadow Ball KOs their Mega Mewtwo Y, and that's a good game. Hopping into the next match, we pick up a terrible lead Zacian into Garchomp, so I immediately save switch into the Mega Mewtwo Y. My opponent stays in, fires off a Twister, denying my sneak. Twister does some pretty okay damage, and then in comes Zacian. This is the power of Mega Mewtwo Y. Even when Psy Strike is resisted, it's basically two-shotting everything. Look at this, it's Zacian, one of the Master League's best Pokemon, and I'm just two-shotting it with Psy Strike. Zacian doesn't even get to land a single charge stack, and if they end up bringing back in the Garchomp's going to have a pretty rough time. They actually bring in Lunala, but the speed on Mega Mewtwo Y, I'm able to make a Shadow Ball. This will guarantee a Protect Shield from my opponent or just one-shot them. And now with Shield Advantage, I feel very comfortable sending in the Zacian. They bank a ton of energy, they pivot into the Garchomp, and I'm going to be firing off Behemoth Blade. Behemoth Blade is going to be no shield, that's big damage onto the Garchomp. Garchomp will need to go for an Earth Power here. Twister would be triple resisted, Earth Power will easily take the knockout, and I'm going to try and go for a farm down with the Zekrom. So I send in the Zekrom, will they make a move? No, they will not. In comes Lunala, and this is a tough call to make. Are they baiting? Are they going for the Moonblast? I shield, I end up getting Shadow Ball baited, and now there's a chance that I might end up losing this game. I think to try and get back in this game, I'm going to try and go for a catch. So I farm up, I switch into the Mewtwo, I don't get the catch, and now it's a 50-50. If my opponent baits, they win the game. I put up the shield, they go for the Moonblast, and we're going to escape with the win. Honestly, I don't think we deserve to win that one after messing up that catch call, but luckily we get the 50-50 right, and we're still able to get the win. We get mirror leads in the next match, Zacian into Zacian. Something that I learned about the Zacian mirror is that 11 Metal Claws and the Behemoth Blade is able to pick up the KO. So instead of throwing on 8, I'm just going to throw on 11. My opponent no shields, they get O-code, and at this point this game is probably just over. I still haven't seen their Mega obviously, but them losing all that Zacian energy is incredibly good for me. They send in Palkia. Palkia is not in a position where they can take the knockout here. I'm always going to be able to survive one Aqua Tail. I'm going to farm up to the back-to-back close combats, but my opponent should be able to CMP time me here. This is a very nice play for my opponent, as this guarantees that my second close combat's worth of energy will be lost unless I give up a Protect Shield. But I haven't seen their Mega yet, so I'm definitely not going down shields. Instead, I'm just going to send in Mega Mewtwo Y, and my opponent reveals they have Mega Garchomp in the back. Up a turn, I can fire off Side Strike right away, deny their full sneak, and they are in so much trouble. Normally, Garchomp does have a pacing advantage here going straight Twister, but obviously Twister is not going to KO. Even an Earth Power will not KO. Mega Mewtwo Y is just absolutely absurd. I know I said that word a ton in the Mega Mewtwo X video, but having played with these Pokemon, they just feel so incredibly powerful. Now I just have to watch for a switch. I'm going to shield up as they go for the Twister. My opponent tries for the switch into Palkia, but look at the bulk on Mega Mewtwo Y. I can just double up on Side Strikes. Palkia is getting KO'd. Mega Garchomp is about to get KO'd momentarily. This Mon, I think I actually like better than Mega Mewtwo X, which is crazy. Both are insanely powerful, but the speed at which you can get the charge stacks on Mega Mewtwo Y is just absolutely incredible. We pick up a pretty decent lead in the next match, Zacian into Kyurem White, and we're able to get a disgusting Fusion Flare catch onto our Zekrom. Fusion Flare really not going to be doing much of anything. My opponent now sends out a Zacian, and this works out great for me. If my opponent wants to knock out the Zekrom, they're going to have to debuff their defense with close combat, and that could set up a nasty farm down for the Mewtwo. So I'm very comfortable just letting this Zekrom go. That can go for a one-shield farm down. But they go for the Behemoth Blade. They don't want to debuff their defense, and that's going to let me make a second Fusion Bolt. This Fusion Bolt will be lethal. My opponent puts up the shield. I can pivot back into the Zacian, fire off the close combat, guaranteeing their final Protect Shield or the knockout. They know they haven't seen my Mega. They cannot afford to go down 2 shields. They're going to bring back in the Kyurem, and I still don't know what that Mega Pokemon is in the back. So I decide I will put up the Protect Shield. I want to try and figure out what their Mega is to figure out what I'm going to need to try and get this win. I feel pretty confident in Mewtwo, but if it's something like a Tyranitar in the back, then I could still lose this game even with a shield advantage. I try for the catch, but my opponent is not going to let me go for that catch. And I'm just going to wait down the timer and send in Mewtwo. Lock hit 0, in comes Mewtwo. It's Mega Dragonite in the back. That's a very cool pick. But unfortunately, Mega Dragonite is not going to like what comes next. Side Strike shreds the Dragonite. Dragonite, even if they're running Dragon Claw, it would not come close to taking the knockout here. Mega Mewtwo Y is just a whole other level when it comes to these Mega Pokemon. I'm able to save Mega Mewtwo, get the catch onto the Zacian as well as they go for the Thunder Punch. And from here, this game is over. Quick little farm down, back in comes the Kyurem. I didn't realize the Kyurem was so low in the moment, I could have just farmed it down, but we end up going for massive overkill with Behemoth Blade to secure the win. Scary lead in the next match, leading Zacian into Mega Mewtwo Y. Mega Mewtwo Y with energy is just an absolute terror to deal with. My game plan here is pretty simple. Tank the Shadow Ball, fire off Behemoth Blade, guarantee a shield or big damage, and then bring my Mewtwo into theirs. I'm pretty confident they're not going to have a Dark type behind the Mega Mewtwo Y, so my energy should always have some value. I put up the shield, I have to respect the potential Shadow Ball, my opponent baits me with a Side Strike, and then pivots out into Zacian. Now, Zacian does resist Side Strike. However, I know Side Strike is basically able to pick up the 2-hit KO here. So I fire off the Side Strike, go for Side Strike number 2. Zacian's never going to even get to use its energy. They're just getting removed from the field of play. And now, what is my opponent going to do? I think they kind of have to bring back in their Mewtwo into mine. Their Mewtwo, it looks like, is maxed out as well. So their Mewtwo is also up to level 52. I do win the coin flip CMP tie here. I go for the Side Strike bait. I'm able to get the shield. And I think my best course of action will actually be to catch out of this. I can't risk not winning the coin flip. So I'm just going to bank the energy and go for a catch onto Zekrom. This way, I've stored energy on my Mega Mewtwo. Side Strike rocks the Zekrom. In the back is going to be a Shadow Claw Kyurem Black. Kyurem's not going to get the farm down here. I could have made the outrage on damage registration error. That's going to force out energy. My opponent is on Glaciate Kyurem Black. I had heard that this was a glitch that occurred, I think a week or two ago, where some people were able to fuse and get Glaciate on their Kyurem Black. I don't have one of these, but it's very cool to see someone actually has it. Side Strike will take the knockout. Back in comes their Mewtwo into mine, but with the energy advantage, the game is ours. Shadow Ball, super effective, KOs the Mega Mewtwo, and takes the win. We move to the next match, leading Zacian into Zacian. Okay, what I should do here is just fire off the Behemoth Blade on 11. I don't know if this was one of the earlier matches where I didn't do that, but oh, this is actually a match where I do that. Okay, so they throw on 10. I should always survive here. They go for close combat, and I just pivot in the Mewtwo. Now my Mewtwo's up energy. I win charge attack priority, and they're debuffed, so this Side Strike is definitely taking the knockout. I still don't know what my opponent's Mega is, and they're not going to show it to me. Instead, they're just going to bring in Palkia. I'm going to farm up, fire off Side Strike. This should come very close to taking the knockout. Palkia can survive here, but it's really not going to be by much. My opponent does have high incentive to bait, because they just need to start stripping away shields from the Mewtwo. I put up the shield, it is going to be the Aqua Tail bait, but the speed of Mega Mewtwo Y, I'm just absolutely in love. This Pokemon is so much fun to play. I'm going to bank energy and snipe with the close combat. I'm pretty sure Palkia is in close combat range here. Close combat lands. No, it's a 1 HP survive. And their final Pokemon is revealed to be Primal Groudon. But I'm able to make the close combat. Close combat does do a little bit of chip damage, and that should put it into Psystrike range for Mega Mewtwo Y. We can bring back in Mega Mewtwo, fire off the Psystrike, KO the Primal Groudon, and as Palkia re-hits the field, we can just Psycho Cut down and take the win. This Pokemon is just an absolute menace. We move to the next match, picking up a pretty negative lead, Zacian into Mega Mewtwo X. I save switch into Mega Mewtwo Y, and my opponents can respond with Zacian. For the sake of science, I'm going to try going for a different play pattern here. This time, I'm going to try for the Shadow Ball into the Farm Down. Well, I was going to go for the Shadow Ball into the Farm Down until they overfarmed a ton, and then I just CMP-tied them with the Psystrike. So the plan is still to farm them down, but I may as well get their first shield if they're going to overfarm that much. They go for the back-to-back close combats. I don't have a lot of health remaining, but I do resist close combat, so I will be able to hang on here. I exit with a ton of energy. My opponent sends in Zekrom, and look at this. I'm able to withstand the Dragon Breath, make it to the back-to-back Psystrikes. Zekrom will put up the shield, and I'm going to save the Psystrike for later, and then just pivot into Zacian. They can fire off a Fusion Bolt. That's very okay with me. I'm always just going to be absorbing this damage and looking to farm. My opponent, they try for the close combat catch onto Mega Mewtwo X. If they got that catch, that could have been catastrophic. I land Behemoth Blade, but now I'm just getting ruthlessly countered down. But wait, my opponent throws energy. I guess maybe they thought I had more energy on the Zacian than I did. I think they could have got that counter down. They end up throwing energy, which is great for me. I send in the Zekrom, but my Dragon Breaths are just doing nothing. They're able to make a last second charge stack. I decided to just let the Zekrom go. This is the Mega Mewtwo Y show. I bring in the Mega Mewtwo Y. In comes the Zekrom. Zekrom immediately smacked with the Psystrike. Psystrike is going to be picking up the one-hit KO. We survived the counter from Mega Mewtwo X, and we're able to clutch a very close win. We get the same lead as before in the next game, leading Zacian into Mega Mewtwo X. This time, I'm just going to try staying in the lead and playing it out. Well, when I get a shield advantage, then I'm just going to pivot into Mega Mewtwo Y. My opponent can stay in here and get the shield back, but in doing so, they've already given me basically a Psystrike for free. What wants to switch into a Mega Mewtwo Y that already has a Psystrike? I think the answer is not a lot. My opponent sends in a Shadow Claw Kyurem Black. Shadow Claw does hit for super effective, but Psystrike hits for neutral, and that is far scarier. I overfarm quite a bit, so does my opponent. We end up CMP tying here. Will Psystrike pick up the one shot? It barely does not, but my goodness, that damage is just out of this world. They go for the Fusion Bolt. I should go for a nasty Psycho Cut down here, and I exit up a ton of energy. In comes Zacian. I bank a Shadow Ball for later, and I'm just going to send in the Zekrom. Zekrom can always be close combated here. That is very okay. My opponent goes for the Behemoth Blade, not wanting to lower their defense. They pivot out into the Mega Mewtwo X, but right before they're able to make their Psystrike, I can fire off the Outrage. Outrage lands big damage onto Mega Mewtwo. I do end up stop tapping there because I wanted to try and force a Simul. My opponent throws the Psystrike, and that works out great for me. Now I can just farm down with Mega Mewtwo Y, exit with the Shadow Ball loaded, and we've seen this story before. Shadow Ball is just going to do way too much damage onto Zacian. Zacian tries for a farm down that they're just simply never going to get. The speed of Mega Mewtwo is crazy. Psystrike knocking out the Zacian, and we're able to take the win. Hopping into the final match, Zacian into Kyurem White. Last time I saw this lead, I got a nasty Fusion Flare catch. I'm going to go for it again. I don't get the catch. My opponent ends up switching out as they send in Mega Dragonite. I farm up just shy of an Outrage, hoping my opponent has not been counting, and they do put up the shield. Now that I've gotten a shield advantage, I'm very okay just letting this Zekrom go. I don't think I'm in Thunder Punch range, which means they're going to have to throw either Dragon Claw, which they do have, or Superpower, which they do not. Now I can bring back into Zacian, fire off Behemoth Blade, and with their Mega out of the way, what is stopping Mega Mewtwo? I think the answer is probably nothing. My opponent has a ton of energy on the Kyurem White, but Zacian does not get one-shot by Fusion Flare, and that's the fact that's going to win me this game. Fusion Flare lands, I can commit to the close combat to force out energy, and then from here, if I'm feeling particularly funny, I could even probably just Psycho Cut this thing down. However, it probably makes sense to fire off the Psystrike just to guarantee that I can get the shield back from my opponent, so I will do just that. I fire off the Psystrike, they do put up the shield, and from here, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to farm him down, even if I have to double shield, because I know the energy on Mega Mewtwo Y is just simply too good. My opponent will make a last second charge attack, but that's very okay by me. What is that final Pokemon going to be? It's going to be a Xerneas. Does Xerneas get a one-shot from full HP from a Psystrike? I guess we're going to find out. Psystrike lands, Xerneas barely able to hang on. We see him P-tie Psystrike to the Moonblast, and that's going to be a win. Man, Mega Mewtwo Y, what a dominant showcase there. Back in comes Kyurem, we Psycho Cut that down as well, and that's a good game. After getting to test out level 52 Mega Mewtwo X and Mega Mewtwo Y, honestly, I'm a bit surprised that I feel like I liked Mega Mewtwo Y more. After watching gameplay with both of these, I felt like X was going to be the one that I preferred. To be fair, both are incredibly strong. I don't think anyone is going wrong running either X or Y. Both are stupidly good in the Mega Master League. But oh my goodness, the speed on Y with the double legacy of Psystrike and Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball being 665 on Mega Mewtwo just gives Mega Mewtwo Y such incredible coverage. I don't think X utilizes Shadow Ball quite as well, just because for X, you're a lot more fast move pressure focused. So while X could run Shadow Ball, I think running something like Flamethrower or Thunderbolt can be nice to give you coverage into other mons. Whereas for Mega Mewtwo Y, it's all about speed. And Mega Mewtwo Y actually with Shadow Ball straight up beats Lunala in all even shielding scenarios. As the Mega Mewtwo Y, you don't even have to bait. You can just go straight Shadow Ball. And that does mean that Mega Mewtwo Y ends up being a pretty interesting Pokemon that once you can get a little bit of energy, it can just completely run away with the game. Now, the one thing I did not see in these battles was a Mega Gyarados. Mega Gyarados would be a Pokemon that could really shut down Mega Mewtwo Y. That's part of the reason why I wanted to pair with Zacian. As not only is Zacian just an incredibly strong supporting mon in this meta, but Zacian would also have a pretty good matchup into Mega Gyarados. Now, fortunately, I was never hard punished with Mega Gyarados. I was able to kind of save switch Mewtwo, run away with games, but I think when Mega Masters returns, we could see a resurgence of Mega Gyarados of people trying to counter Mega Mewtwo Y. Now, funnily enough, Mega Gyarados obviously gets crushed by Mega Mewtwo X. We saw yesterday how much damage those counters did. So it could be a little bit of a game of cat and mouse where Mega Mewtwo Y beats Mega Mewtwo X, which beats Mega Gyarados, which beats Mega Mewtwo Y. So constructing your team to cover for your Mega's weaknesses is obviously going to be very important. Zacian is going to be pretty ubiquitous almost on every single Mega Masters team. I felt like Zekrom did a pretty nice job as a supporting cast member in these battles. Zekrom was never exemplary, but it didn't really need to be. Zekrom's goal was just to do enough to let the really powerful mon in Mega Mewtwo absolutely take over. I wanted to have a mon that if I did run into Gyarados, then at least I had super effective coverage into it with the Fusion Bolt and with the close combat on the Zacian. So that was kind of the thought process behind this team, but man, Mega Mewtwo Y, I think it is my new favorite of the two Mega Mewtwo's. To be clear, and well, to restate what I said earlier, I think both are incredible, but personal preference for me, I think slight edge to Mega Mewtwo Y. The speed on this Pokemon is just absurd. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed watching today's video, please do help support the channel. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not, and an extra special thank you as always to our channel members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide to the channel is honestly amazing, so thank you guys oh so very much, and until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.